In a world of bland television, where every talking head looks the same, right around your corner and up your alley comes something completely different. 5 Detroit sports zealots who've come together for a common cause.
You know, we'll get to the sports media stuff later, but it is funny that we all did, you know, do some duty at Sports Radio 1130 The Fan many moons ago.
The original, we all worked there.
We all worked there.
We were all part of it.
A moment of silence.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. That's all we got to do. You want to get started with stuff?
Sure.
Let's get started with stuff. Let me tell you what's going to happen here. We're gonna talk about lots of things, all Detroit. Some other things that'll be mixed into. We're going to take questions from you guys, so get your questions ready. Get thinking about it. We got a little segment that I know Stoney is near and dear to his heart. Stoney, we're bringing it back. Why don't you say it?
What's your freaking beef?
What's your freaking beef is coming back. And we actually have butchers in tow. We'll tell you about them coming up. But they're terrific guys, and they've got meat with them. They have cuts of meat. And we're also going to give you a chance to actually win a nice gift certificate from them, too. So we'll tell you about that. Where's a little oohing and ahhing for that, huh? You can't beat that. A little oohing and ahhing as we get things going. Look. Football underway, Lions, here's the raw numbers, 0-16 last year. They've lost 17 straight, 23 of 24. You got Tennessee North now with Jim Schwartz. Everybody seems to like the guy. We all liked Mariucci. We all liked, well,
not all of us.
Not all of us. I mean, they all were good guys, but could they get it done? Here's another guy. Can he get it done? Let's start with that. Let's start with Artie Regner. He's big on the Lions rants.
He's Lions free the last couple of years.
You've been Lions free. Yeah, you back? Are you back, Artie?
No, oh, God, no.
Oh, God, no.
You know, I'm sorry. I think you have to take a real wait and see approach. You know, Jim Shorts might be a great coach.
Jim Shorts, very nice.
GYM Shorts?
I don't know. I've got it in my head now. Anyway,
that's what it'll be.
It's great that he's out here in the community and he's doing all this, but let's be honest. If you followed the Detroit Lions for your entire life like I have, then if Super Bowl wins were based on talk, the Lions are perennial champions. I'm sure they're all pillars of the community, outstanding guys. You want them as neighbors. You want to barbecue with them and all that kind of stuff. Can they coach football? Can they run a football team? Can the players play football? And the answer is a resounding no. And maybe now you can say, well, we don't know. And maybe we don't know. But the one thing that I do know is that the Lions blow. They always have blown, and they always will blow until they show me differently. And I am not going to give them any kind of free pass. 0-16? 0-16, and everyone's acting like, oh, wow.
Very mild.
And they changed Bubbles. Bubbles is now a little bit like on steroids or something, and they've got the fancy numbers. And I want to say this: I would start Matthew Stafford in a moment. And the reason I would start him is if you let him sit there and fester and get that lion stink on him, by the time you put him in there, he's going to be so jaded it's not going to work. If so, put Stafford in. Put Matthew Stafford in. If he's the guy, put him in. I don't care about, Dante Culpepper, he should play a linebacker. I know he's dropped some weight, but put Stafford in. If Stafford is truly the man, what's wrong? They're not going to win many games anyway. You think you're going to shake his confidence? The guy's got $40-some-odd million. You're not going to shake anything from him.
Well, I just think the biggest thing that I look at, and I talk about personnel a lot, and these people in Detroit, they love cornbread. I'm the guy that invented the cornbread, and I'm going to tell you about the cornbread. Lion fans still want to go out and get season tickets for an 0-16 team. I think it's 17 in a row.
You know what? They're giving away $230 packages.
There are enough people who have signed on to this. I know some people, I'm never going back, I'm this, I'm that.
But they like
Watch when they have their home opener, and you have 60,000+ people there. This is why this thing will never change. And I'm going to tell you this. When you talk about personnel, you talk about Matthew Stafford. Here we go again with another rookie quarterback that's going to win it all. Bobby Lane, all this stuff. Hey, listen, they bring home Larry Foote, a guy, that I know very well.
He's a good player.
He took a 1-year, $1 million contract or whatever to sign and come here. That's good. But you know what? He's not an every down linebacker. Julian Peterson, same type glitz and no glamour, all this stuff.
Hold on.
But the bottom line is with the personnel, it's still the same.
Right,
I concur with her that until they win, I think people should just take a sit back and wait for a season or two for this thing to change. It's never going to change until we step up.
Who's sitting there saying this team's even going to win 8 games? Nobody. I think everybody who has a brain thinks they're how many they're going to win? Maybe 3, 4 games. It's going to take. It's a process. They have very little talent. Everybody agrees that. So let's see what happens. But I don't see this fanfare that we're great. I don't see.
Tony, I don't know where you're hanging out at. I don't know where you're hanging out at because where I am, everybody's excited as though this team went to the playoffs last year.
This is the
go
problem.
to the barbershops, go stand out in front of the party stores and talk to people about
the way that they present it, which is always the same thing. We always have fed the same thing about a new attitude. We're building the team. Stoney, that's the stuff that's offensive to me because the same people who were there with Matt Millen are still there.
No doubt.
Okay,
I wasn't for them, Mayu or Lewan.
Well, Lewan, those guys are still in place. And the problem I have is it's one of those situations where I don't want to hear about all that. You got to go out and eventually win. And I understand, but the point that Regner made is 0-16, 0-17 is unbelievable in the National Football League.
It's horrific.
I have no
that's why coaching changes are made.
This is the point, though. And this is what really Lion fans, if you want to get to the crux of the matter, and you're going to go out and buy the new attitude or the new jersey with the fancy letters and all that kind of stuff, you know, all the cosmetic things that the Lions are doing so you can forget about the 0-16. Look at it this way. I was on the air on WDFN, and may it rest in peace, the day that Matt Millen was let go, was fired by the Lions, and you would have thought that the Iraqi and Afghanistan wars had ended, you know? It must have been like how it was when World War II ended. People were dancing in the streets, man.
Well, because it ended an 8-year run.
Hold on. Wait, let me make this point. But the fact of the matter is that then the Lions, William Clay Ford Sr. issues this statement and tells us, we're going to have this national search. We're going to do this. I went on the air that very day, and I said, listen, now you've got Martin Mayhew and Tom Lewan have the rest of the season to sit there and butter up the old man, put their arm around him like Matt Millen used to do and say, look at that guy. Hey, that's your player, Mr. Ford. You know, or wait, where's my owner? They did it. They did nothing. They didn't change. It never changed. All they did was get rid of Matt Millen. But they put Martin Mayhew in there who for 8 years bit his tongue. He was totally against everything, but he cashed that check. And Lewan's been there for 15 years. And you're telling me that these two guys are going to change? You better pray to God that Matthew Stafford is that intangible player, and you better pray to God that Jim Shorts knows what the hell he's doing.
The year they had 9 possible Hall of Famers on a roster, and Joe Dumars put together. But wait a minute, he put together a championship team without one top 50 player.